Here's Mohammed.
Dear colleagues, no need to introduction. You can ask questions in chat, and feel free to. And please also don't use your monitor to write something on it, because now I see that it might spoil the sound or the picture. Thank you very much.
Dear friends, good morning and welcome on board. Sorry for this delay. Today we are woken up in a totally new reality. As you may know, challenging times have befallen on Ukraine. Our people and our government spare no efforts to ensure peace, stability and sovereignty of Ukraine. But now is also a high time to demonstrate Ukraine's latest achievements in different fields, in particular farming and agriculture. To demonstrate that Ukraine is truly important, even indispensable element of the civilized world, which makes its contribution to the global food security. My name is Oleksandr. I'm third secretary at the Embassy of Ukraine in the state of Kuwait, and as usual, I will be moderating today's meeting. Today, we're going to talk about smart farming as business. Our experts from the company called Smart Oasis have a truly deep understanding of this subject, and they will touch upon scientific and practical sides of the smart farming. They will share their thoughts about the feasibility of smart farming in Kuwait, as well as in the entire GCC. And of course, we will hear the success story of Smart Oasis company, what products do they create, how innovative they are, and many more other aspects. The program of this seminar will be immediately downloaded in the channel in the common chat here in Zoom, and you can refer to it in any moment of our today's meeting. Also, we kindly encourage you to type your questions in the comment chat here in Zoom. We will address your questions to our distinguished speakers at the end of the seminar. Just don't hesitate to ask us anything related to our discussion, and now or later, it doesn't matter, just whenever you feel comfortable to do so. And there is one more essential nuance. So we kindly ask you to keep your mic muted. So switch off your microphone unless you're delivering a speech, because we have got so many participants right now. That's a big audience, and any background noises may disturb our speakers. Okay, I will not take more of your time. Let's get started. I kindly invite Dr. Oleksandr Balanutsa, Ambassador of Ukraine to the state of Kuwait, to open our seminar with a welcoming remark and to share with us some of your thoughts, visions, and maybe some expectations. Dr. Oleksandr.
Assalamu alaikum, marhaban, ahlan wa sahlan bikum. Thank you, Ms. Olga. I wish everyone a very nice, bright morning. Today we have an amazing event that we've been thinking for many months, believe me. We do arrange a number of events on a monthly basis, but with Mr. Alexei and Anatoly, who I know for many years, we've been thinking on how to produce the best for you here. When I was working in the United Arab Emirates as the Consul General, then I understood that the Smart Oasis company, which I heard first time, is there in the market. They came there, they showed, they broadcasted, they showcased what they had in Dubai, in Sharjah, in other Emirates. And then I understand that this is the future. Since Dubai is attracting the future, and Alexei with his company, Smart Oasis, came there, that's how I actually touched base with Alexei. Then when I was appointed as ambassador of Ukraine to the state of Kuwait in 2019, the first big event that the embassy put together, arranged, was a week of Ukraine in Kuwait. And we had a very strong 2 days presentation of Ukrainian potential in different spheres, economic, agricultural, IT, medical, and the biggest stand, the biggest industry output, something which we wanted to show to Kuwait at the Chamber of Commerce of Kuwait premises, it was Mr. Alexei thing with the Smart Oasis farming. And we had hundreds of people coming and seeing how can we produce greens without this and this and this and this, something very unique. So we started working on it, and we asked Alexei to provide us with some information on how we can also expand the word about these smart farming techniques. So Alexei, being in Kuwait, he knows what Kuwait needs. In his presentations, in his works, they are actually doing the feasibility studies for Kuwait and other GCC countries to understand what is the need, what is actually there that he and his company can produce, can offer. Now, guess what? Today, Alexei is in Dubai because he's again working and showing something there. And again, guess what? In 2 days, Alexei will come again in Kuwait to start discussion with a Kuwaiti company in regards of the pilot projects on how to do the smart farming here in Kuwait again. So it's not something theoretical. It is a very practical, very useful, very feasible thing, which those companies who are dealing with this one, with agriculture, with food security, with ecology, you name it. That's exactly what the technology is about. So when Alexei will make his speech with Anatoly, they will definitely represent themselves. They will introduce what they have. But to what I saw, to what I touched, and they have a huge headquarters in Ukraine in different cities, they can really deliver what is expected. And I'm expecting the guys to come on the 25th to Kuwait, and then immediately we'll start working. We are waiting you in Kuwait, Alexei and Anatoly. But as of now, I'm giving the floor again to Miss Olga. I wish everyone to have a nice, bright morning, very active. I've seen that we have more than 166 people online with us today, and we represent the whole world. So it's going to be something very united. And you know, Ukraine needs unity right now. So I'm thanking you for being with us today. Now, Miss Olga, the floor is yours, and I wish you good luck.
Thank you very much, Dr. Oleksandr, for your sincere speech, for your energy boost. And we were also expected to have Dr. Oleksandr's counterpart, Dr. Rashid Al-Advani, ambassador of Kuwait to Ukraine. But due to some technical issues, I guess Dr. Rashid Al-Advani is not with us, but nevertheless, we can feel Dr. Rashid's support. So now we move forward, and now it's my honor and pleasure to invite the representative of the Smart Oasis company, which specializes in food and water production. Smart Oasis has much expertise in aeroponic vertical farms, unique purification systems for photovoltaic panels, independent water production, and many more. Mr. Alex Prihodko, Chief Executive Officer at Smart Oasis, will now shed more light on this subject. Mr. Alex, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much. Hi, Olga. First of all, I would like to thank Mr. Ambassador and his colleagues for the opportunity to participate in this conference. This is a very good possibility as for us and for the whole GCC business community to get some important snapshots for the developing of the region to ensure its food security and take the huge possibilities.
We need to promote our presentation. Please, Mr. Ivan, let us show the presentation.
You can do it. You can show.
Yes,
you can share.
Just in a while. Okay.
Hi, everyone. It is worth saying that we would like to tell you much more than time of our conference provides us today, because the topic of smart farming is very huge and wide, and it would be very difficult for us to put all the important details, but at the same time, we want you to reveal big truths and impose our view. We want to focus on the main aspects. We'll provide you key insights about the industry and offer you a product solution, which could be a great opportunity for you to create the project and to enter the market. So our conference consists of 4 small blocks. Each blocks will be capacious in the content, and each of them is scheduled for 5 minutes maximum, with a total timing of 15, maximum 20 minutes. Then we will have a Q&A session when we can answer to any of your questions. Also, I want to specify an important detail that in the chat there is a link to a contact form. Having filled and sent to us, we will provide you individual questions to your requests, and we will answer it just already after the conference. So First of all, we want to clarify the main situation we have in the market. Next slide, please. We have working over this industry over 5 years. We have passed from R&D developer to a fully operated company. We have a team of engineers, scientists, programmers, all together have the cross-industry knowledge required for those industry and create an innovation product. I will ask Alex to be the first speaker of our agendas, who will give us a basic introduction to the technology and show the technological innovations that we have already on this industry.
Thank you so much. You know that all of us need food every day. And to feed all of us in the next 25 years, you will need to produce 65% more food using the same lands. And to produce any food, we need water. We need water for farming. And we need huge amount of water in traditional agriculture. I don't know whether you know or not, to grow one regular tomato with a weight around 200 grams, more than 20 liters of water used in traditional agriculture. So only 1% of water still in plant, and the rest 99% is lost. Some evaporates, some goes underground. It means that we need to use smart solution for controlling water waste. How to grow 65% more food using the same farmlands as now, with case of climate change and temperature rising. So nowadays, we are the witnesses of the transition between the old ways of doing business, of doing things, and the new ways of doing things. For saving the soils and water, we have to grow vertically because we live vertically.
As Alex correctly said, today the foundations are being laid for the development of the industry. New systems of human being in society form new economic links between different elements of the system, where vertical farming plays a key role in the creation of food supply, which becomes a strategic element of the system. Next slide. Just look at these numbers, please. The global market is beginning to be actively filled with new projects and technologies, actively financed by VC companies, as well as the public or private or government investors. But the market is still very far from saturation. We have two main technologies on the market, aeroponics and hydroponics, and Alex will tell you the main differentiations.
Yeah, thank you so much. So as Anatoly mentioned, the leading technologies which used in indoor vertical farming are hydroponics and aeroponics. Some people think that aquaponics is also a separate technology, but in my opinion, it's just a sub-technology of hydroponics, where plants are grown using the liquid fertile water as a source of nutrients. And in such type of farming, plants are grown together with the fishes, which produces nutrients in its natural way. So these two technologies can save a lot. Water. Hydroponics can reduce water usage by 90% due to water control, but aeroponics can reduce even more. Aquaponics is like a more advanced technology of aeroponics, where we not spraying the nutrient water to the roots. We transform liquid fertilizer into the mist, which is 100% less in size. And it was short briefly explanation about the irrigation technologies, and the second major part is CEA, which means the controlled environment agriculture, that contains from 4 main key components. It's a light, nutrition, hardware with a sensor, and the data which we're collecting to analyze what we can do more efficient and how to save more operational expenses.
To be more visible, we want you to look through our image video of our product. That will explain you much more information, and after we will proceed describing the product as well.
So we grow crops just in air. That's what we will know how to do with high efficient way. We creating smart equipment specially for this task in indoor vertical farming. It's connected to internet and work with AI for self-learning, and it could be quick installed in any kind of premises. For example, in one of our products, we put all this stuff into the spatial box. It's a isothermal one. And we transform this box into food factory that could grow crops automatically and with minimal human labor. Day-night cycles, temperature, humidity level, irrigation, nutrients, CO2, and even wind speed could be automated. As a fact, Smart Oasis Farm is a hydroponic solution which can collect data from different kinds of sensors, and all internal equipment has high level of automation. The all inner space divided for some spatial racks and which placed on multi-rack system with optimal microclimate for each rack. And by this solution, different type of crops can be grown, and this easy adjustable multi-rack system can easily adjust it to different height of the plants. So we can grow salads, spices, berries, vegetables, medical herbs, and so on. As I mentioned before, our internal space is divided according to different 3 zones, yes, and different stage of plants grow. And each of these zones is fully automated and can provide with the plants with an excellent climate condition, especially for this stage of growing.
At this point, I would agree with Alex, because any product has to be economically sound and have a solid basic business model. Otherwise, it won't work. Its economic viability is a key element of building different forms of a project. Especially for the GCC region, we picked up an average business model, please, an average rates of the main cost elements in growing lettuce, for example, and incorporated them into our business model for you. Just look through the numbers. We see the rates of operation costs. We see the payback in years. You see the numbers, which is bold red. For example, for lettuce, we have the payback years almost near 1 year or less, with the cash flow per 1 square meter annually, 1.5. Also, we would like to point your attention to the structure of the cost of goods sold. For lettuce, I remind you, this is the average costs of GCC region. So we have such numbers that provides us as we can see, this data have very high rates of economic benefit. Our product has been very clearly developed for the GCC region especially.
And especially for GCC region, we can provide our solution with some special additional unit that can harvest water from the humidity located in the air. And that means that we can supply the full water independent to the farm to grow any crops.
Yes.
So let's back to the our
Presentation.
keynotes. Yep.
This is the key advantages as well we can consider for you. Particular attention should be paid for such factors as water generation, as Alex said, crop yield, high plant nutrition savings, tangible energy savings that are less than average on the market according to our competitors, for example. Pay attention to key element of economic liability like flexibility, that we can put the racks in different height that can be provided with our easy adjustable system. This is the cool advantages for us. We have also a crop monitor system that can be worked remotely, and we have the record yields because we have by lettuce more than 8,000 kilograms per year, producing in 30 square meters. You know, it's very big numbers with the high economical steady performance. Next slide. Yes, of course, it's a very good investment tools for any starter in this market because we have low capex, low capital investment, we have low opex, and of course, as the producer of this equipment, we guarantee this equipment will be work stable and efficient. We will provide full service maintenance to our clients, 24/7 follow-up, and we will help to make big projects with huge capabilities. So you can put any quantity of these freight containers and build any capacity that you want. Of course, for many interpreters and different forms of businesses, it will be good to think over the main questions before you're starting your business to avoid any failures in the start. Please understand who is your customer, what crops are going to grow, who will operate your equipment from the beginning maybe. Of course, you need to define your financial goals and choose the right producer of equipment because different producers can say they have very strong and very reliable and very steady equipment. Of course, everyone says that, but you need to be sure of that. Of course, the battle between production and demand, you need to clarify the main tasks which your region provides for you, what crops are most interesting to buy, what locations, what the value chain, and who is your, first of all, who is your supplier of these elements and whom are you going to sell your ready done products. The market trends, we see the market trends of producers of equipment from the left sides, which is green, and the consumption trends. We are always looking on consumption trends because the buyers are voting with their money, of course, and we should understand their intentions and trends. We see a rising concerns over organic foods. We see growing urbanization. We see demands of climate changes and local food. So you will understand the main options that you should provide and serve the market. Of course, pay attention to the numbers of the GCC outlook industry. We see the demand for food in GCC is expected to grow at CAGR of 2.3% to reach 52.4 million metric tons in 2025 from 46 and 8. You know, it's very good numbers because you have very stable focus during next 5 years. So investment in this area will be very steady and reliable. And category-wise food consumption shows you that every category will grow. So the whole consumption system size forecast will be growing and growing during next, we consider no less than 5 years. And for general understanding, I'd like to give you the key, next slide, the key snapshots and trends on the market and the industry. We see a strong trend toward the development of those crops that gives high margins and have high consumer demand. We see companies that produce seeds for vertical farming they're establishing by the time during recent period. In addition, we see various financial instruments provided by both the private and public and government sectors to provide growth to the industry. Of course, urbanization is increasingly shaping the social system of interaction. And also the key areas of development of the industry will be maximum digitalization and automation of cultivation processes, together with the use of alternative energy. And once again, I would like you to remind that you can fill the contact form that is on our chat. You can fill this form. Show this, please. Contact form, yes, and you will send it to us, and we will give you our quick response with any question you want to clarify for yourself. Frankly, this is in brief the whole information that we want you to understand for now. Okay. And if you have any questions, we will provide you our answer.
Thank you so.
Thank you very much, Mr. Alex. Thank you very much, Mr. Anatoly, for your really great presentation. It's well structured, it's visually attractive, it's highly informative, it's comprehensive, just to name the few. To be honest, your presentation has evoked such a strong feedback in our audience and our participants that all of them, and we're around like 200 right now, asked to share this presentation in the common chat. So if it's possible, please download the file so our guests and our listeners can refer to it and reread it, because there was a business model with a chart, and the numbers were not clearly seen on the screen because some of our listeners have joined our conference via smartphone. So they will be very grateful for you if you could share the presentation. Well, I think that you made many things clear today and demonstrated the outstanding benefits of smart farming as a business. So let's move now to the interactive part of our seminar, since it's time for the questions and answer section. And we've got a lot of questions, so our audience is really very active today. And this means that your message has reached people and grabbed the widespread attention. So here's the first question. I need to know the visibility to grow different crops like rice.
It's no have for now. It's not have official economics to grow the rice, but I think just in 3 to 5 years it will be possible together with together with corn.
No, wheat.
Wheat. Oh, yeah. Corn with wheat and rice is possible to grow, but just in a few years, because the rice still need a lot of sun energy.
So the economics will be not matched the expenses. To produce rice for now is economically not very effective model, economically.
Thank you very much. Second question. Is this considered organic farming or chemical farming because of the artificially chemically prepared nutrition?
It's absolutely organic because we do not use any pesticides or other chemical elements. It's absolutely organic. It's absolutely biological, natural process. We feed our crops, plants with only water and NPK nutrients, with our strong mist. This is our know-how technology, and it's absolutely organic.
Thank you very much. Another listener asks one more time about the presentation and the feasibility study with numbers. I think I already mentioned it to share the presentation. And the next question is from Khabir from Qatar. Refer to container farming, how to avoid growing fungus in it. Thank you.
Fungus?
Грибки.
Yes, mushrooms. We call it
We
mushrooms.
call it, yeah, we call it mushrooms.
Yes, we can provide the technological system, but in the nearest time, our R&D unit in Ukraine working over this task, and then during 3 or 4 months, we will have the technological map on creation of mushrooms. Yes, it's absolutely possible to grow mushrooms.
Actually, we can grow anything, but for some crops, there is some economic which is profitable, and some of economic is not profitable. But with such solution can be grown anything, even trees. But it's quite long time needed for that.
Thank you very much. I think, if I may add, I think our listener
We
asked
can see,
about
Olga.
infections, so something which is bad for the plants. If it's possible to avoid like growing some bad flora in the plants. Як уникнути шкідливих
Так, ми зрозуміли. Процесів на вирощування. To make this.
Actually, we use, as we mentioned before, we use spatial isothermal box, which is fully isolated from external climate. That means that, and from time to time, we sterilize all internal equipment to prevent any pets or any disease to be happen. If we use this close climate, indoor climate, it prevents from the outside. That's how we do this.
Can you tell us how many days we have to wait for the harvesting? I mean, how many days?
It depends to the crops. Normally, we increase intensity of growth around 14%. But according to our logic and the divided zones for three different zones, you can harvest, you can get the yields every from 12 to 15 days, consistently throughout the year. So 12 to 15 days, you get the harvest.
Thank you very much. And the next question is, smart oasis solution. Does it support greenhouse solution?
Once again, please repeat the question.
This is not a greenhouse. This is a special unit. You know, this is a special climate unit that can be realized as a container-based or a building-based. It can be any kind of.
But not in traditional greenhouses, because the traditional greenhouses is not well isolate external climate from internal one.
So if you want to renovate the old greenhouse, we can manage it. We will make
fully renovated. Yes.
Yes.
What about solar system for this smart oasis? How we can connect it?
Yes, on next stages we can put the solar panels that can power this our farm, but you need to consider not only the PV panels, because PV panels working when the sun is shining, but there is some night time where the solar panels is useless, but you still need to keep the climate in ideal conditions. So the only PV panels not solve everything. We need to make the energy storage system combined with PV panels, and that's what we are working on right now.
You mean off-grid and on-grid solar system? Only grid off-grid? You mean?
Yes, we are working on off-grid system which can supply the energy totally independent for this farm.
Olga, we see the questions.
Just if I may just to have a.
We see the questions, and we can briefly ask on them.
If you need our support, or you can
which crops are economically viable in smart farming? For now, it's greens, For now, it's strawberry, berries, flowers, spices. Yes, send the PPT. Of course, we will send everyone the PPT of our presentation. Maybe if you need to make any more requests, please fill the contact form, which is now in our chat. You will give us your quick response. You will receive from us quick response. The next questions. What is the electricity consumption per unit for?
How long is the ROI?
Я уже тут произнес сейчас. We show you the business model. You will receive our business model in the PPTX. How many watts on it's consumed? It's not too big because other producers provide much more numbers.
In case of lettuce, there is around 17 kilowatt per 1 kg
of lettuce.
Yeah. What is electricity consumption? We will provide you exactly for the each type of lettuce.
Looking through the questions. Good morning, everyone. I'm just looking through the very beginning. I need to know the visibility to grow different crops like rice. No, rice we already told that it's not economically effective. Organic farmer, yes. What the address of our speakers after the previous? Yes. Okay. Numbers
Numbers we will provide in advance.
Yes. To share the materials, of course.
Excuse me.
Lots of questions are repeatable.
Excuse me. I have a question. Just I'm asking about the what is the percentage of disease like bacterial or viral disease we can grow, you know, in the crops in comparison with the hydroponic as you are using the aeroponic system. If you compare with hydroponic.
We use aquaponics. It's more advanced than aeroponics.
Okay. So what's the percentage? You are, because I think you are using the folk or fine mice.
Fine meat. Yes, fine meat.
Yes,
folk.
and this maybe increase the humidity and may this causing some problem with the disease, fungal disease, others.
Each of our rack where plants grow has its own circulation system like a wind, and the system which supplies the mist to the roots. So we consistently move the air inside. We enrich it with the CO2, with humidity, but this humidity, it's not staying all the time. It's moving around the inside inner space. So that's how we prevent.
Seeing is believing. We have our staff already in our R&D unit in Ukraine. So please, we can
share live stream from our building base.
And you will see the mist and you will see the racks by yourself just right now on our online streaming, if you don't mind.
Just a minute, I will connect.
Excuse me.
Excuse me. Can we test?
Yeah. Is this workable in Egypt? For example,
yes,
we can have these units in Egypt?
Yes, of course.
It's workable everywhere in the world.
Please
do you have a branch in Egypt where you can provide services and you provide the consultation about that?
Yes, please fill the contact form, which is in our chat, or you can find it in our site, smartoasis.live. And you can fill this form, send us this request, and after this conference, we will get back with our response to your sharp question. You see the monitor, you see this process. Dmitry, are you following us?
Yeah, I'm following you, but I think it will be more expensive in terms of energy. It's not energy saving.
It's a really good question because it more consuming energy than traditional farming. But when you start to calculate the delivery chain, the logistic from the grower to consumer, you need to have much more labor. For now, yes, of course, the average power consumption per 1 kg, as I mentioned before, is around 17 kilowatt per kg. In traditional agriculture, you use direct cost around 5 to 7 kilowatt per kg. So for now, yes, that's why we are collecting data and use AI to radically reduce energy usage.
Okay,
And it will
thank
be done during,
because in traditional agriculture you cannot control the climate, and you are working with what we are getting from our planet. In our solution, yes, we use more electricity, but we get much better yield per square meter. For example, from our square meters from our farm, we can get around 130 kilogram per square meters annually.
But have you prepared visibility studies according to different environments? For example, the GCC environment is different from the Middle East. Do you have
Yes.
visibility studies that match each environment?
yes, we need a contact form with the response according to your special place. And according to your special place, we will provide the feasibility study with the business model, especially for you.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Excuse me, did you use this system in the roofs of the houses? I mean, if we are thinking to distribute this system for the Kuwaiti owners of the houses in Kuwait, is it economic? It is economic.
Yes.
It is possible. It has economic, but it's much better to use the separate box, is a thermal one, to grow the crops, because you need to consistently keep the exact climate inside of this room, and the outer temperature could be different. So we prefer to use some special box for this to grow the crops, and we can modify any room to grow the crops, but we need to isolate this room from external climate too. So it will be some additional work need to do before we install the equipment.
So this maybe make it more costly. You know, in Kuwait, there are many people using the hydroponic system.
Yes.
It's more cheaper. I mean,
it's more cheaper, but it's still consume a lot of water. You cannot control very well water waste, and you can grow with hydroponics that used in Kuwait only on one level. With our solution, we can provide you to grow the crops vertically. It means that you can stack one by one and get from each square meter much more yield.
And this economic business model is very, very reliable and effective. We will send you this example, and you will see that you can even put your numbers and create your business model according to your location.
okay.
And
Thank
your
you.
value chain possibilities.
My friend, just I would like to ask, can we use this one for grass and for weeds and for barley, such as these groups?
No, this weeds, rice, not yet. It's not economically effective.
Excuse me, I have some question. May I ask?
Of course.
Sure.
I think this business model is very good, but I think it's not good for GCC countries. Please, I mean, if I'm wrong, let me know. I think, first of all, it relies heavily on automatic system. And if something happens, it means we need good knowledge for the, for the people who is working there about automation, actually, in this case. And other things, about the cost, about the sale of the products, because I saw rarely that you mentioned $10 per kilo for lettuce, but actually this is not the price in GCC countries, especially in Kuwait that I'm living, because we can buy lettuce right now around 1 kg and a half. It means around more than a kilo, and it's around $4 or $5. And other things, I just want to know about the noise of the system, and is it noisy, or they have any, how we can reduce, the relies on the automation. Thank you.
Yeah. Can we follow one by one?
Yes.
Yes, please. Sorry, I asked all of them to, don't disturb.
No, that's fine. Can you please repeat your first question?
First question was
No. Can you please repeat your first question very briefly?
Yeah, the first one, I think it's this kind of system is relies heavily on automation. And if something happens, each fan maybe is not working or something, it's the cost is, it will be a lot. And also we need expert people to change it. And, it means if we need expert person in this case, we have to.
Thank you. Yes, we got it. No need to repeat the whole question.
First of all, the system is quite stable, and we have the first of all, we have a guarantee that working time is it's a warranty, not less than 12 months with a post-warranty maintenance. So, for example, you are using some smartphone or PC. If something wrong, did you think that something could wrong with it? We are using industrial components to be sure that the system work correct, and the owner of the farm no need to do anything. He can just see how the process is going on.
It's absolutely remote control. You don't need to stay there whole day 24/7 and watch through these racks and understand how it works and be very scary if something's going wrong. No, it's absolutely automatically working. You have the remote control. You can sit in one place, but this farm will work automatically in the other place. And we have more than 100 sensors across the whole farm, which provide us the whole information about humidity, temperature, and how all systems are working.
Includes the fan, so we got the information what exact fan working or not working, and if it's working, with what speed he is moving, for example. So we have the sensors for each small of parts, even actuators. Actuators, I mean that the elements which work. We have the sensors which we collect the data, and we have the actuators which we put some data inside and it works. So we collect the data from actuators too as well. So the system is quite stable, and you don't need to worry about how you will change anything. We get this information in advance, and our staff will do the maintenance.
And during the nearest time, maybe 2 or 3 months, we are going to make a station unit here in GCC with a special unit of engineers and programmers that can provide the very fast and initial process between interaction with our clients. So do not worry, everything.
Second question, please.
Yes, everything will be guaranteed with our company.
Thank you for the first question. But as a person who do hydroponic also in Kuwait right now, I'm thinking about it. How, if I want to replace it with aeroponic or also in the future phagoponic, it will be feasible for me or not. Because in GCC countries, as I know, I'm not Kuwaiti, but as I know, also government supports production. And for this reason, any kind of production, if it will be feasible. Right now in Kuwait also, or in other GCC countries, they produce all kind of herbs, all kind of, vegetables. And the most important thing here, the cost of the, production, it's, and also the people who is going to run that business. Because, I'm thinking, in this kind of field that I have, as a 40 feet container, I can maybe grow 3 or 4 times more than, the hydroponic.
You can get 8,000, more than 8,000 kg per year.
Of lettuce, no less, of 8,000 kilograms per year during the whole year, non-stop. During the year, non-stop, with lettuce, greens, vegetables, and
that means that even in summer, from May to September, when you get the temperature higher than 45, you're still able to grow the crops locally here in 2 steps from your market. And the expected cost of goods sold per 1 kg is around $3. And it's mentioned the electricity cost rate we input. It's middle rate. It's not Kuwait rate, because I know that in Kuwait the cost of electricity could be less than 1 cent. In this case, the production of 1 kilogram of lettuce will be around $2.5 or less.
Exactly. Sorry to interrupt you. You mean the cost of the production in Europe right now for
cost of production in GCC.
In GCC.
Okay. Better also. In GCC, you mentioned it's around almost like $3 for a kilo of lettuce, for example.
Less, 2.4.
Okay, that's perfect. And right now in Kuwait marketplace, if any Kuwaitis also here, they can also accept it or not, or they can confirm it or not. As a wholesale market, the cost of lettuce, the local lettuce is around less than 1 KD. It means less than $3.5 US. As a wholesale. You got my point. Maybe lettuce is not the right product for to produce in Kuwait market.
The grower can decide by its own in which months he will produce. For example, he easily switch from basil to lettuce, from lettuce to any other herbs through the year, and he can do this with the same equipment. Just install another agri-technical recipe, which means that all internal equipment change its logic. It's increase the light, it's change day-night cycle, or it's change the temperature by its own. You don't need to do anything with such. So if you see that the lettuce for now is with high rate of, it's too costly for you, you can switch to basil and start growing basil. And when you feel that the market is empty for lettuce, you can jump to lettuce back and grow the lettuce. It's very easy to switch from one crop to another without adding any additional equipment.
We will provide you.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome, sir. We will provide our customers with our technological maps. We will provide our customers with different nutrition recipes. We will provide our customers with the whole automation. We will provide our customers with the remote control of our automation, and we will see and we will get the alert if something goes wrong. We will inform you in advance. Sir, please pay attention to this or that. So it's absolutely reliable and state of work. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Please, another questions?
No, just I have a comment regarding my colleagues who are speaking about the latest in Kuwait. You know, if you compare some latest coming from abroad, like from America or Canada or Australia, it is maybe 3 times double of the prices in Kuwait. It means you are take it about $10 per kilo.
Yes.
In Kuwait,
Absolutely right.
What we are producing in Kuwait, it is about you speaking about less than $2. But there's one point which is very important: the quality.
Of course.
The quality is very important.
Of course.
As I see in your system, of course, the quality is more better than which we are produced here in our farm, except in some special farm which is in small scale. But generally speaking, in what are they selling in the market, in the supermarket, the quality, it's not the good or the best if you compare with this imported from abroad. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We want you, do you have any further questions, gentlemen and ladies and gentlemen?
Hello?
No?
Yes. Can you please give us some insight about the vegetables, the feasibility of growing vegetables, and are there some suitable types, or all of them can be grown?
Thank you so much for your question. The veggies now under development, and we already grow the small peppers and small tomato. It's like tomato cherry. And with the present equipment, you can grow anything with the height up to 1 meter height. For the cucumbers, we are developing the easy adjustable system that can easy switch not between the herbs and lettuce. With such equipment, you can very easy switch from greens to veggies with the same equipment. But right now it's under developing, and that I mentioned before, we already get some peppers. I can provide maybe in additional information the details about these small peppers. It's like a mini pepper with a height about 35 centimeters of height of the crop.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome, sir.
Just one other question about the pricing for 20 feet containers and 40 feet containers and 65 feet containers. Can we have got some information about the prices?
Of course, we will directly send the details once we got inquire in our form, which is mentioned.
Yes, please fill the contact form because look, we have a full basic price that starts from $85,000 per one container, 40 feet. 85,000 per 40 feet container based farm, not including additional unit with the water generation system, but it's not very expensive to add it to the main construction. According to your location, according to your place, and according to your possibilities where to put farm, inside of the building, underground or in another place, it depends of equipment comparison, and we need your contact form to understand what kind of premises you want, what kind of farm you want.
You can base on the equipment price per 1 square meters is around 1,260 US dollars. 1,260 US dollar. It's a base price for 1 square meter. And this square meter can provide the revenue is around 1,900 US dollar with the middle price in GCC that we mentioned.
How much the price for the 1 square meter? Approximately 1,200.
1,200.
Just a second.
Just a
gentlemen.
second. We will show you the business model once again. And
So please look through these numbers.
one container-based farm has a plot 30 square meters, and its cost around 85,000 US dollars.
Basic.
85,000 US dollars.
Yes.
40 feet. 40 feet.
Yes.
40 feet. Yes. This 40 feet square farm has 67 square meters of useful growing area, exclude technical passages. This means that
How many
67,
meters? How many
67 square meters.
Oh, I see. 67 square meter. Okay. Okay.
Yes.
I see. Yeah. This is just medium price. It depends on the request. If it is under the ground,
Of course,
it
depends on the request.
Yeah, it depends whether maybe some snowing area, for instance, in the mountain. It depends.
Yes, of course. Inside of the building, outside of the building, under the ground, in the
On the roof,
on the roof,
on the basement, and so on.
I see. This price is for, or this is a price for door to door, almost for price or door to door, for instance.
It's base price. It's FOB price.
FOB price. Okay.
Yes, it's FOB price.
No delivery or customs included this price because we don't know the location.
Yes. Yeah, correct. Okay.
So please look through this number.
Can we get just you can send us on this our emails on this one, or I don't know how you can recognize.
Of course, by emails and by WhatsApp.
Okay, I see. Already you have 193 participants, I think. You will send them all, I think.
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much.
I'm sorry for this.
One question, please.
Of course.
I have a question.
Okay. Can I complete, please?
Okay, sorry.
Okay. See, the crops which we grow in these containers using this aeroponic method, can they be called organic? Are they coming under the organic certification?
Okay. Organic certification means that some products are produced in the ground only. Because our farm is not using soil, we can't be called like organic, because organic standards provides organic certifications only for producers that are producing in the soil with traditional horticultural technology. As well, there is another certification systems in Northern America and in Europe that provide certification for producers like we, that our technology and foods that we are producing are absolutely organic, and they don't use any chemical pesticides or any other damage for the health of people products.
Okay, one more question. See, now you said actually it will be produced in containers. Now, suppose we need to do it in large scale. Okay, then is there any economies of scale, like the unit cost will come down? They mean to say the investment, the total cost of investment can come down.
Look, we have a business model here in the monitor. When we put your numbers into this model, according to your place, according to your cost of energy, of water, and etc., we will make the sharp numbers that can say, as this business model much suits for you, or we can suggest you to make a special scalable for your location and for your business model. It depends, you know, we can't say it in advance because we don't know your estimates.
Yes, I understand.
When we'll get your estimates, please fill the contact form and we will give you the sharp response with the sharp numbers. Thank you, sir.
Great. Okay, thank you.
I have a question. Can I go on with my question?
Of course.
Thank you. I wanted to channel it down to our own climate, which is Africa. And I would like to know the container, if it comes with all of the equipment in it, or one has to source it individually. And also the, you just highlighted, but I need you to clarify, the smart seeds, are they the same thing as the one you use for the organic seed that you put in the soil, or the ones you put in the container? Is it sourced, is it the same thing or different?
Thank you so much. Let's speak from the initial question. Can you please repeat the first one?
The
Or I
first
can
one is
for the second about the seeds.
The seeds,
the first one is actually the container. I saw the container that had all of the equipment, the layers, and all the rack on it.
Yes, yes,
everything.
yes,
Okay, good.
yes.
I just
yes.
wanted to know.
We have the full basic price for the full. We have the full basic price for the whole equipment, unless water generation system. Just only accept this 85,000 per 40 feet container based farm, unless without water generation additional unit. But it's not very expensive. It will cost
around 5K.
Around $5,000 to put it in together, and you will make the full, absolutely maximum supercharged autobiography Range Rover model, but in agricultural. The second question, according to the seeds, Alex will follow.
Yeah, actually, we use the same seeds that used for traditional farming. It's not separate. It's not no any difference in the seeds. In nutrition, yes, we have developed our own nutrition, which is more stable in fog potting. But regarding the seeds, yes, it's the same.
But we will produce our own genetics during the next six, maybe less years. It's not very quick, but we will produce our own genetics that will be much more efficient. But now we are using the most effective worldwide producers of the seeds.
Thank you so much for your question.
We have online streaming from our Kyiv R&D unit to show you the our R&D racks with our nutrient mist. You can see it just in real time. This is the unit that produces our experiments. Please, Dmitry, if you're listening us, can you show us some mist?
Hello to everyone.
Hello, hello, Dmitry.
Right now I'm in Kyiv, in Smart Oasis Farm R&D Center. I wanted to show you how we use our technology.
Could you please stop sharing the screen so Dmitry will be on the full screen? Yes, great.
Dmitry, show us the mist, please. And
right now you can see the few kind of basil. Here, few kind of salad of Litucci. Just a moment. And just a moment, please.
Okay, no problem.
Here, the part for spray or fog aerosol.
Mist. We
You
call
can
it
see?
mist. Yes, yes. Show me the. Yes. Yes.
What do you want to show?
Open up again, please, and make крупный план. Дай какой-то туда, да. Okay. So you see
The root system.
You see the root system of these plants are very strong and huge. According that, how many days they are?
2 weeks.
2 weeks, no less, or even less.
2 weeks.
Okay. Thank you, Dmitry. Bye-bye, Dmitry. Thank you so
Bye-bye.
much. Please, another questions, ladies and gentlemen.
Just, I would like to know, my friend, about your client or your customers. Are they satisfying in your product? Did you sell it, for instance, to Saudi Arabia, to Kuwait, to Dubai, United Arab Emirates?
Not yet. We're arranging this process just right now. We're in Dubai, and in 2 days we will be in Kuwait. We are ready to meet with you or take any negotiations about that. We are going to make this the station in GCC unit and to start producing our farms in this region. But before this, we have already started our selling programs in Europe, in European unit, in Ukraine, and in Poland as well. GCC is our now new beginning with a huge potential, and we are absolutely sure that our products will be very interesting for your business community.
Okay, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
The same, sir. Thank you.
There are a few questions left. If I may ask.
Excuse me, last question, please. Have you made any comparison study for the cost of kilo of any of the crops, vegetable crops, which you are growing in your system in comparison with other system like hydroponic or greenhouses? I know that there is a big difference in between the three systems, but just for our knowledge, that if you have did any comparison. Thank you very much.
Actually, the main source which influence to the cost of kg is energy. In traditional farming or in traditional agriculture, it's quite low. But with traditional farming and traditional greenhouses, you cannot get consistent yields through the year. So what we can provide is our electricity rate and the electricity consumption per 1 kg. And we know that this consumption in overall vertical farming market almost 5 times less than the middle, than average. Yes. So I know that the hydroponic could be used in traditional greenhouses, or it could be vertical farming. I don't know what to compare, but as I meant before, if we're talking about vertical farming market, our costs almost twice less. If we compare with traditional farming, yes, our cost is competitive.
With other competitors.
Is competitive. But let me provide you exact amount, exact digits of our exact numbers. Yes, of our of our calculation. Yeah, thank you so much.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Please, ladies and gentlemen, fill the contact form. For us, it will be very important because we will give you the personal response to your personal situation, demands, requests, location, and etc.
Hello, gents. I just have a question.
Yes.
About how much time it will survive this technology and equipments used in this container.
Our equipment are guaranteed that it will work no less than 10 years, no less, even more. But our stable technology is provided to work absolutely efficiently, no less than 10 years. Of course, during this time, we will provide guaranteeing follow-up. We will moderate or some to correct some processes, but it's not depends on your working schedule.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome,
yes.
sir.
Good afternoon. May I comment, please?
Yes, of course.
Yeah, you mentioned that the key driver for the cost is the energy. And I agree with you. However, taking into consideration the nature in the GCC countries, you know, temperature, especially in summer, goes up to sometimes above 50.
Yes.
And containers are made of steel, which will reflect big deal on the internal temperature and will consume more energy to maintain the climate control. So I would say for this part of the world, maybe you can tailor-made containers that are made of thermal walls, especially to serve this area rather than steel containers.
Thank you so much for your question. As I mentioned before, we are not using ordinary container, which have huge amount of heat losses. We use isothermal one. It's a spatially isolated from external climate with spatial insertion of polyurethane, which means that it's not reflect, it's much energy effective than building you are using now in your lifestyle.
It's a thermos, you know, it's a thermos.
Okay.
Like for hot tea, it's a thermos that avoid external temperature for indoor equipment.
I get you. Now the second one, just a rough comparison. If I have a piece of land, of course, for me to have the containers, I need a space to locate them. So I will need either, as you mentioned, the roof or a land or somewhere. If I have a land and I build a normal like hangar, fully isolated with climate control and everything, do you have a comparison in the like, of course, the equipment will be the same as in the container. There's full support in terms of the racks, the mist equipment, everything. Which is more feasible, to make it as a traditional hangar building or to use the containers?
It depends where you're located on. What is your seasonal temperature? Do you have the temperature high rising on summer, or do you have the temperature decreasing on winter? So it depends on your location. What is the best solution you can choose on?
But you can support.
But the main idea to get the predictable and consistent yield, you not to depend on external climate.
Understood. But you as a company. You as a company, let's say I build a warehouse completely sealed, so you can also support installing the equipment and everything. Okay, got it.
Yes, of course.
Thank you.
Please fill the contact form.
Just do this and you will get the answer for your question.
Any answers for any questions, according to smart farming, of course.
Yes, and we are here and we are really open to talk with all of you guys. Thank you so much.
We have other further questions. Can we have a mix of crops in one time in the same unit?
Yes, if the demand of this crop,
the conditions.
if the demand regarding the condition of these crops is similar. For example, it's not able to grow at one time basil and lettuce, because basil needs more high temperature and lettuce needs more less temperature. You can combine it, but you don't have enough efficiency for each of these type of crops. That means that you don't have full basil efficiency and not full lettuce efficiency. But it's possible to combine the different crops which have the same climate conditions. Yep, I'm sorry.
Another question. What about the staff required to maintain the container? How many people need to serve the container?
If we are talking about the maintain the ordinary operational, one person less than 5 hours in a week, because all internal equipment is automated, it's connected to internet, and we can check what is going on right now, and the owner of the farm also can do this. All the labor that should be done inside the farm is planting, transplanting, and harvesting the seed inside of this farm, inside of the box. That's it.
Thank you. Next question. Can we use solar panels as alternative energy to operate it?
Of course, on the next step, we can add, and we are working on adding, but we will provide such, but only solar panels not enough to operate. To make it off-grid system, we need to make additional energy storage system, which is quite expensive. It's cost even more than one container farm.
Thanks. Another questions. What about the water quality, TDS and other minerals?
The water we are harvesting from the air, and the water is coming inside of the farm.
How many liters do you have during the month?
We can produce 100 liters per day, and this water is distilled and pure, so it has almost 0 ppm of dissolved salts. It's near to 0. It's like a 20, something like this, and we enrich this plain water with exact amount of nutrition of N, P, K, and calcium and magnesium.
And of course,
sorry, have you actually factored in this in African context? I'm talking about the whole box itself, because if you have to talk about the temperature, and you have to talk about the topology of the place that you're putting it in. Have you factored your equipment in Africa? Have you tested it as well? Have you tested it? Because you talk about longevity, not less than 10 years, because if you should have it there, have you tried it? Do you have a test there to be able to ascertain that you would have less than 10, it will last less than 10 years?
We are not, you test it on 10 years, but we test the separate equipment for about 5 years. The separate part of equipment already tested, and we work with this equipment more than 5 years. But we are not tested fully assembled as 10 years. But we understand on which year what we should maintain, what is exact what is exact unit should be maintained overall this 10 years of operational. I hope I answered your question.
Good afternoon.
I still want better clarification.
Hello, hi, good afternoon.
Hello.
Hello, hi, good afternoon. Just I would like to know, as per your presentation, to set up a medium-sized farm, I think the initial investment cost is going to be the container and the smart system what you have inside. In that case, will that be possible to fabricate only the containers, that means locally, wherever the countries, and only the internal system can be provided from you?
Can you please
I will explain.
your question exactly? Oh,
I
yes,
will explain. So the question is it possible to use container locally, I mean, in any country in the world, but you provide only the internal equipment for this container? If I understand correctly, if not, please correct me.
That's correct. Yeah, that's right.
Unfortunately, the equipment should be installed previously and tested before we send it to our customer. So once we deploy the manufacturing facility here in GCC, we can send already finished and assembled products from GCC to GCC. But unfortunately now we need to buy this container in our country, assemble it, test it, tune it, then deassemble, send to customer, and then assemble it again when it arrives to the place.
Okay, in that case, yeah, thank you very much. And in that case, what will be the annual maintenance cost that has to be supported by you, or there will be a local partner?
$800.
$800 per unit, per container.
Per container.
Okay, and what about the warranty which you have, for your system, what you have inside the container? How many years?
No less than 10 years.
10 years. Okay, okay, okay. Thank you very much.
Maybe more, maybe much more. We will always working on the producing the high efficiency of our equipment. We have a strong science and engineering and programmers team here in Ukraine, but we will make a station in GCC unit with specialists from this region. We will provide our knowledge, we will provide our data, and we will make a strong station unit in this region during the time.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
You're welcome, sir.
Ivan, thank you so much.
Just a moment. I think there are only 3 questions left. Where are you located in Ukraine?
In Kiev.
In Kiev, in the capital. Okay. Can we use solar panels as alternative energy to operate it?
But it's wrong. Yes, but it's not enough to make the whole consumption of the energy. But it can be used. Yes.
Okay. And can we use the phogoponic for flowers?
Yes, of course. And we already have the flowers.
As a technical result.
Yes, thank you very much. So I think the questions have been answered, hopefully to all of them.
But we still can answer for all questions once we got the forms in Google. Yep,
yes.
forms.
And also our colleagues now are in the Emirates. And if you want to meet them, I hope you will find some free time to meet in Dubai. And from 27 to 29, the Smart Oasis Farm will be here in Kuwait. So also you can take appointment with them. And we will send out the presentation through WhatsApp and through the email. So you'll have the chance to get full information about today's event. And I think now Ms. Oleha, could you please?
Yeah. Dear guests, dear participants, dear speakers, it only remains for me to thank you from the bottom of my heart for your time, for your professionalism, for your devotion. To tell you the truth, it was one of the hottest, one of the most active question and answer sessions that we've ever had. And you can see that even now, till the last minute, we have more than 100 participants, and we've been working for more than 1.5 hours. So thank you for that, and all our words of thanks goes to Smart Oasis company. And I'm sure all of these ideas and insights that you shared with us today might be a starting point for someone's smart farming business here in Kuwait or another GCC country. And who knows, maybe some of our listeners are already thinking right now of bringing some smart farming ideas to Kuwait or another GCC country. Or the entire Gulf region. Of course, we're about to finish our seminar, but we will keep Zoom open for a while so you can download all the presentations, save all the numbers, emails, all the information that you might need. later. But anyhow, we remain open. Our door is always open for you. If you have any inquiries or questions, you can address the Smart Oasis directly or the Embassy of Ukraine in Kuwait. We will be more than glad to provide you any further information. And in the meanwhile, I kindly invite Dr. Oleksandr Balanutsa, Ambassador of Ukraine to the state of Kuwait, to wrap up our seminar and just to share your ideas about the outcomes of our today's meeting. Dr. Oleksandr?
Thank you very much, Ms. Olga. I will probably take another 1 hour and a half for an attempt to try to summarize and wrap up what has been said. But I would say that it was unprecedented. Those who follow us on media and those who follow the embassy site, they know that it's been already the 10th, probably the B2B online meeting that we have held so far. And this was one of the hardest one for us. I mean, 200 plus participants, 1 hour and a half of questions. The questions were professional, the questions were different, they were absolutely various in its sphere, agriculture as well as ecology, ecology as calculations, calculations and solar panels. Probably there were some questions about space, whether you can grow smart oasis space, but if Elon Musk would be with us, he would definitely ask you that question. And probably Anatoly would definitely say, please fill in the form and I will answer you, Elon Musk. I will answer you the question. So definitely, ladies and gentlemen, that was really cool. We have a full support in Kuwait from the Chamber of Commerce, from the Union of Investment Companies, from big players, as well as the average and small investors and farmers and businessmen on what Ukraine can bring. And so they're ready to accept it and have talks and negotiations and discussions. They're ready and we feel that support. Now, from Ukrainian side, from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, we have the support of the Council of Investors and Exporters, who give us all the information we need, who disseminates all the information and makes this information pervasive to all the spheres. And definitely today, Anatoly and Alexei have actually both of them invested their time to answer all the questions. And I'm sure we can continue for hours to do the online communication. But as Anatoly emphasized, please use the time in the Zoom to fill in the form. They will be very careful in studying your questions, and then we'll address and target and fine-tune the answers to exactly what your requests are. We have people from Qatar, from Saudi Arabia, from Iran, from the United Arab Emirates. Alexei and Anatoly is in Dubai. We have almost 20 countries that represent today, and they've been asking questions specifically about their need, local need, geographical need, location-wise. And I believe Anatoly and Alexei provided some initial information for you to start thinking. Then again, if you fill in the form, they will be able to provide you more detailed information. And definitely, guys, we are waiting for you here in Kuwait. We'll be having some program for you. People are asking. There will be some maybe interviews that will be asking how they can do it. And definitely that interest that you present, that gives a big honor to Ukraine, because Ukraine is a fully scaled resource country. We are not only producing, we are smart enough to help others to produce at a decent cost and with a high quality. So we are here to present what Ukraine has to offer. We're very happy. I cannot but mention my team, Mr. Ivan and Olga, for taking care of this one. And we've been preparing this for a number of months. And I believe we had a success. So we will have the Zoom open for everyone to use the information, the links, and the emails to exchange. We are at your service here in Kuwait, online as well. Thank you very much for your time, for your efforts, for being with us today. And as I said, Ukraine needs unity, and now we have your support, and we believe it's a paramount importance. Thank you very much for everyone. Alexei and Anatoly, thank you so much for having a wonderful presentation, up to date, especially with the inclusion of Ukrainian database, Ukrainian headquarters, with real-time growing salads, lettuce, and everything, and we saw it in real time. Thank you very much, guys. We are at your disposal, and thanks for being here with Ukraine.
It was a great pleasure to take a part with this conference. And once again, Mr. Ambassadors, thank you and your colleagues to make this happen. It's a great pleasure, and it's a big importance to the GCC business community to have such opportunities that markets gives us today. Thank you so much. And everyone are very welcome. And do not forget to fill the contact form.
Okay, let's meet. Let's meet in 2 days.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you very much, everybody. Good luck.
Thank you very much.